I pulled into Dad's driveway on May 17th, my heart hammering like it was going to burst out of my chest. The backyard was packed under a big white tent, string lights twinkling everywhere, the smell of smoked brisket and sweet lemonade thick in the air. A DJ blasted loud pop hits that made the ground thump under my feet. Dad had gone all out for Maddie's 24th birthday party, but the second I walked in holding Frank's arm, everything froze. Heads turned. Conversations died. This was the payback I had planned for months. It started back on March 15th at the old family diner we used to hit every Sunday for pancakes before the divorce. Dad texted me to meet him there, to meet someone special. When I walked in, Maddie sat right next to him in a short skirt and heavy makeup. She looked me up and down slowly. "Wait, how old are you?" she asked, popping her gum. 27, I said. She blinked hard. "Oh, I'm 24. Dad grinned like this was the funniest thing ever, his hand already resting on her leg under the table. We sat down and Dad ordered the $48 ribeye special for both of them without asking her. "Medium rare, just like I like it," he told the waiter, who shifted from foot to foot looking uncomfortable. The elderly couple at the next table stared the whole time. Dad kept glancing around the diner, making sure people noticed them. Every few minutes his hand slid higher on her thigh, like he needed the room to know she wasn't his daughter. "Maddie's in nursing school," he announced loud enough for half the place to hear. "She's getting her degree and everything. Smart girl." I watched her scroll TikTok on her phone the entire time he bragged. Then he ordered a $165 bottle of wine and made a big show of letting her taste it first. She took one sip and said, "It's good," without looking up. Dad beamed like she had solved world hunger. Over the next weeks it got worse. Every Thursday morning Dad started showing up at Mom's bakery with Maddie right beside him. The bakery was Mom's whole world after the divorce. The spot she ran her book club every week that IT was 20 minutes out of his way, but he came anyway. I only found out when Mom called me crying on April 11th. "He knows it's my place," she sobbed. "Why is he doing this?" I called Dad right away. "This is low," I said. He laughed. "It's a public place. Lighten up, kid." I tried to tell myself it was just a stupid midlife crisis. But at my cousin's engagement party on April 28th, he showed his true colors. Dad walked in with Maddie on his arm and introduced her to every relative as my better half. Mom sat alone at our family table, staring at her plate. I could hear Dad's poker buddies at the bar from across the room. "Man, you really traded up," one said loud. "Got any single friends for us?" Dad laughed right along with them, not caring that Mom heard every word. That's when I knew it was on purpose. The text that set everything in motion came May 10th. "Emergency, sweetie. Throwing Maddie a huge 24th birthday bash this Saturday. Live DJ, caterers, everyone from the firm. You gotta come." I could picture his construction crew guys trying to mix with Maddie's college friends. "Wouldn't miss it," I texted back. That night, I opened my dating app and changed the age range to 55 to 70. If Dad could date someone 3 years younger than me, I could date someone way older than him. 3 days and 40 profiles later, I matched with Frank. 65, silver hair, kind eyes, sharp dresser, retired from running his own engineering firm. We met for coffee at a quiet spot across town. "So you need a date to prove a point," Frank said with a small laugh after I explained. "I'm in, but don't get any ideas. I'm too old for extra drama." Saturday came and the party was exactly what I pictured. I played the good daughter for 30 minutes, complimented the flowers, made small talk, and took a photo for Maddie's Instagram. Then I stepped out and came back with Frank. The whole tent went quiet. Dad sat at the head table with Maddie draped across his lap in a tight pink dress, laughing at one of his buddy's jokes. "Everyone," I said brightly, "this is Frank." We sat at a nearby table, and I rested my hand on his knee so Dad had a perfect view. Even Maddie looked confused. One of Dad's poker buddies stood up fast. "Wait, Frank Thompson? We play cards at the club every month." Dad shoved Maddie off his lap and jumped to his feet. "Sweetie, what is this? This is completely inappropriate." His face turned bright red. "Inappropriate?" I asked, my voice steady even though my hands were shaking under the table. "Like showing up at Mom's bakery every single Thursday?" He sputtered. "That's totally different. We're not staying long," I cut in. "Frank's taking me to his lake house for a private dinner." But we stayed another full hour. Frank chatted with the guys about his big projects and retirement trips while Dad paced the tent, sweat beading on his forehead, fists clenched at his sides. My chest felt tight the whole time, stomach churning from the stress, but every time I pictured Mom crying I stayed strong. In our small town, everyone knows when your dad starts dating someone younger than his own daughter, and the gossip spreads like wildfire. Family parties are supposed to bring people together, but sometimes they just show how selfish one person can be when he rewrites all the rules. When we finally left, Frank grinned ear to ear. "Best party I've been to in years." 3 days later Dad was still blowing up my phone. As one final blow, I texted him back a single line. "By the way, Frank doesn't need to chase someone half his age to feel like a man. He already built a life worth living." The call stopped after that. Dad finally saw exactly what he looked like from the outside.